Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Jerry and this is Jerry in Canada. I live in southern Ontario with my hubby and we're empty nesters now. We moved here way back from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia with our two boys and yeah, so now you know a little bit of the background if you're first visiting here. Today, I am going to do a crock pot recipe. I'll show you the book that I am going to, one second, I get it now. I am going to do some cleaning to this dining table. I'll show you some stuff that I'm going to use on it just to kind of make it look good, hopefully. I'm doing a crock pot recipe out of this cookbook. It's a Canadian cookbook. There's a lot of homes in Canada that at least one time or another had one of the company's coming cookbooks, or your aunt or your grandma or, friend, neighbor. And this lady is the one that came up with these recipes, and she was from out west. Anyway, that's more chit chat. Can't be procrastinating too long. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Okay, let's get this started. This is mini meatballs and snow peas in the crock pot. I'm sure you can do this in the oven in a casserole dish. 1 pound of ground beef, quarter cup of dried breadcrumbs, teaspoon of dried parsley flakes, teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper, 1 large egg, a half a cup of finely diced onion, some for the counter. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't feed my counter. That's just a small onion. I am going to mix this and roll into 40 mini meatballs. Okay. I have my oven on broil high, and you're going to put this under the broiler about 15 minutes, turning it halfway through and until all the pink, so you don't see any pink. Okay? 6 inches away from the boiler. And then while that is doing its thing, we'll get the sauce started. It's going to have thinly sliced carrots as well, as the snow peas go in way at the end, pretty close to the end. And a cornstarch slurry goes in at the end as well. If you want, this can be a prep meal. You can do the meatballs the night before, put them in a container in your refrigerator after they cool down, and you can mix the sauce in a container and put that in the refrigerator, and then the next day you can throw it in your crock pot. I'm putting a little more carrots in than the recipe calls for. The recipe calls for half a cup or 125 milliliters of carrot. Like I say, I'm just going to put a bit more in because they're kind of chunked up together. I bought carrots on sale. I washed and peeled them, sliced them up, and I blanched them, and then I froze them. That way, they wouldn't go bad on me, and I get to use them in a recipe like today. The can of pineapple with its juice, it says 14 ounces, which is 398 milliliters. This is a bit more, a few more ounces. It's 540 milliliters. I just don't feel like freezing. I got already some crushed pineapple frozen in the freezer that I need to use up and whatnot. So I'm just going to use the whole can, okay? I might need a little bit extra cornstarch slurry at the end because it's a little extra liquid. Making these for Graham. And I'll have a little container that I will freeze half of these in for him for a later date as well. Okay, what else does it call for, my friends? Brown sugar packed. You need a half a cup of brown sugar. You can use lighter dark brown sugar. It doesn't say. So I'm assuming that you can just use whatever sugar you feel like that you find tasty. Mine's a mix because I just buy brown sugar and I put it in here. It can be light, it can be dark.
White vinegar, 1/3 cup or 75 milliliters.
Quarter cup of ketchup. I'm just going to eyeball that. Okay. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. 3 tablespoons of water.
So the recipe says finely grated, peeled ginger root, or a half a teaspoon, 2 milliliters, that is, of ground ginger. I just use the ginger that I bought, they come in the little jars, and I put 2 teaspoons in.
1 garlic clove minced, or you can use a quarter of a teaspoon, 1 milliliter of garlic powder. I'm just going to put this minced garlic in here. Give it all a good mix about. I'm going to put this stuff away and get the meatballs and add them to the crock pot. This crock pot, my son was at a thrift store and he saw it and it reminded him of a crock pot that we had when he was little. And he said, I had to get it for you, Mom. The only difference is the color, really. Very similar. Thanks for being here, friends, because I tell you, I do appreciate it. I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be doing YouTube channels and talking to people here on YouTube, and enjoying it so much as well. So I appreciate it more than I can ever let you know. I can tell it to you, but I wish that you could feel the joy that you give me. The meatballs, I have it away from the broiler more than what the recipe says. And the 15-minute time seems to be perfect with it. But mine's more like 10 inches away from the broiler. I'm using an older crock pot. I wonder if it's going to line up with the time on it. Because you'd want your carrots to be softened the way that you enjoy them. And you want your meatballs to be fully cooked, which they pretty much are, I believe, after being under that broiler. But
And I have a bit of a spoiler alert for you. Graham absolutely loved these.
you could have it with a bunch of broccoli, the snow peas, the carrots, other peppers, maybe some peppers, and peppers, onion, slices of potato, broccoli. Like you could probably put a lot of that in there. Like I make a potato stir fry that I really enjoy. So slices of potato would be nice in that. So let's go to the dining room, get some stuff done. We'll come back when we're ready to do the snow peas and the cornstarch slurry. Okie dokie. I'm going to take the tablecloth off. I have a microfiber cloth. I have a bucket with warm water and some Simple Green. I love the stuff. It just cleans like crazy. And it's environmental friendly, which I love. I usually just use this from time to time on some things, some, my table and other stuff in here. And then I let it dry. But today, I'm also, hopefully when it dries anyway, might be today, might be later, I'm going to put, I read about this. I don't even know if I will you need to have this before this. You may be able just to use this. But I like using this, and I'm going to use this too. I got this a while back.
I bought my large jug of concentrated Simple Green last August, and I still have a lot of it left. But I love also using Pine Sol because Pine Sol is manufactured, guess where? Windsor, Ontario. So I use that as well. But this wax I bought around the same time, last August, and I had the can of the finish, like the cherry wood type of stain stuff. I had that ages ago. I just use a bit of it every few months.
Anyway, I got to take the tablecloth off. I'm using a microfiber cloth to do the cleaning because that way it doesn't scratch my table. This pulls out and you can fit 2 more chairs in easily. I love it. I bought this probably 20 years ago.
It's been a while since I left. Nobody knows where I went, but I think I found my place. Don't worry, I'm doing just fine out in the islands where the time goes a little more my pace. I've been floating coast to coast, Bahamas to Puerto Rico. It don't matter if I'm lost, because I know when I'm with you I'm home. When I'm with you I'm home.
Each step I used a different clean microfiber cloth. Okay, friends, I wiped down the nooks and crannies of my table and chairs. I didn't want to bore you too long with wiping a table. And now I'm adding that furniture finish type of stuff to the top of my table. Off camera, I did do the seat part of my chairs with this as well. I am going with the grain, for the most part, going with the grain on the table back and forth with this stuff. I love it. I've been using the same stuff for many years on this table. Like I say, it's like around 20 years old. I'm also wanting to get like around the edges of the table there. Anyway, future video ideas I have here. I'm doing a bit of decluttering in the home here. I'm getting rid of some things that I don't use or don't need or don't want. I'm going to try selling them first for a few weeks on Facebook Marketplace, and if I don't get anything, then I am going to donate them. That's hubby's idea. So I said, okie dokie. So I'm starting to do some decluttering. I think I'm going to do some videos of that. And yeah, I'm just enjoying being here, and I hope that you're enjoying being here as well.
Okay, it says to test a spot, inconspicuous area of what you're doing, and rub it in, use clean cloth, and look at it 20 minutes later. Okay, it looks fine. Looks pretty good, actually. Make sure that your surface is clean, the cloth you're using is clean and soft, and there's no dust on your surface.
And when I did the cleaning, the washing of everything, after I did that, I waited for everything to dry. Then I put the finish on, and I waited for that to absorb in and dry. And that it has all been done. I tested a spot with this wax stuff. It was fine. So now I'm putting it on. It's bothering me that I didn't pull the table out to get the leaf, but it's very difficult and heavy for me to do, and I didn't feel like breaking my back doing that, so I am going to do that later when hubby is around to help me pull the table out so I can do the leaf, because it will drive me crazy until it's done. I also did the seats of the chair off camera, and I tell you, friends, I really liked how this turned out. I had minor scratches on the seat parts of the chairs from just over the years, people maybe with keys and pockets, whatever, and minor scratches on the table, and they didn't disappear, but they became very, very less noticeable, like not vanished, but I was pleased. So now let's get back to the crock pot recipe. So you can make this on high for 4 to 5 hours or on low for 8 to 10 hours, according to this. But you just keep an eye on your crock pot, because this is an old recipe, so it's probably going by old time crock pots, you know what I mean? And now about 30 minutes before it's done, 30 minutes before it's done, do a cornstarch slurry of 2 tablespoons of cornstarch per 1 tablespoon of water. I used a bit more because I had a little bit more liquid in because of using the larger can of pineapples with its juices. And then you mix this all about, and then you put your cover back on. And after about 20 minutes, when it starts to really thicken up, you're going to add your snow peas. So after you wash your snow peas, you're going to add a cup of snow peas. I'm adding a bit more than a cup because I bought just a little bag of these snow peas that I washed up. I'm going to mix that through. Graham requested rice for this. Now you're going to put the cover back on, and you're going to let them cook for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. My carrots were done nicely. They weren't mushy. They were just done nicely, so they held together nice. So they were kind of not thinly sliced, but kind of thickly sliced. Actually, just say medium sliced. So here we are. This is the finished dish, if you will. And I made some rice in my rice cooker, and I'm telling you, this sauce is really nice. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope you liked the recipe. Give it a try. I hope that you liked the cleaning. I hope that you liked the whole thing of this video. And if you did, please leave a like. Share it out if you want, or if you will, on your social media. Help my channel grow. And I hope that you put the notification bell to all so you don't miss a video. And please come back again and again. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!